So despite NIO stock being down today, we are again seeing great news coming out for the company. NIO just signed a major deal with the Chinese state, something that can bring a lot of revenue and also open the door for even more collaborations in the future. Also, NIO just announced the share price for their 68 million new shares they issued recently, something the market reacted negatively to, which led to the drop we're seeing today. Let's talk about these news and also understand if it is a good time to get into NIO stock right now or if it's better to wait and hope for it to go down even more. Looking at the stock chart, the share price is down by around 2%, just hovering above $41. It did dip down below $40 at the market open for a very short period of time, before it quickly shot back up again, so it's clear that we have found a nice support level here. This means that there seems to be a lot of investors, or at least investor money right now, that thinks NIO is an absolute bargain when it goes down below $40. And so they instantly buy that dip, which leads to the stock going above those levels again. And because the market is mostly controlled by institutional investors, since they have so much money, we can assume that there are a lot of big funds going into NIO as well during those times, looking at those price levels as great buying opportunities. We have still not seen the recent filings of how institutional investors are reacting to the recent drop in NIO, but I'm willing to bet that they are not the ones to panic sell and that they are still very bullish on the stock. Apart from the possible delisting that can happen maybe in a couple of years, probably not, we have only seen strong fundamental news for this company. So I personally see no reason for why professional analysts would want to sell off right now. So that takes us to the big news of today. Thanks to a lot more funds, NIO is stepping up the construction of charging and battery swapping infrastructure. On December 14th, NIO and State Grid EV Service, a subsidiary of the State Grid Corporation in China, reached a cooperation agreement to jointly build 100 charging stations and battery swap stations in China by 2021. The two companies signed the framework agreement on deep cooperation in charging, battery swap and energy services in Beijing, in which they agreed to integrate their respective strengths and resources to explore innovations in the vehicle and the charging business models. The agreement mentioned that they will carry out the joint construction of charging stations and battery swapping stations to improve users' experience of energy replenishment services, reduce users' vehicle costs, and promote the promotion of new energy vehicles. Driven by a transformation of China's national energy strategy, the installed capacity of clean energy generation is growing rapidly, and the proportion of clean energy use continues to rise. And that's why State Grid EV Service was established at the end of 2015 with a registered capital of 3 billion RMB, or around $500 million. And it is positioned to implement China's national energy strategy, air pollution prevention and control, and also energy conservation and emission reduction policies, and to promote the accelerated development of the electric vehicle industry. NIO is the first car company to cooperate with State Grid EV Service, and they are talking about encouraging and guiding customers to use it together by introducing preferential electricity price or subsidy policy. They will strive to achieve at least 100 million kilowatt hours of clean electricity for new energy vehicle users in 2021, and also promote the low carbonization of the whole life cycle of new energy vehicles. Previously, NIO and State Grid EV Service have been working on a pilot of V2G technology using the power battery of electric vehicles to reverse power to the grid. In 2021, they will also promote V2G technology to encourage EV users to charge during low hours and discharge to the grid during peak hours to improve grid capacity efficiency. So guys, this is really good news for NIO, and a cooperation like this with the Chinese state only opens up even more doors for future agreements and various forms of support. NIO is building a great relationship with the government, and as long as they can keep delivering, who knows how much more work China will provide for this company. And guys, remember that China has very ambitious climate goals of hitting carbon neutrality, so having zero carbon emissions by 2060. And they will obviously need all the help they can get from innovative companies in the transport sector to achieve this. And NIO seems like a prime example of such company. So now you might be asking yourself, wait, why is NIO still down then? Well, first of all, the market is really unpredictable, it's irrational, and in the short term you can never really know how it's gonna act. But also, today NIO announced the pricing of their offering of 68 million new shares. This pricing was $39 a share, and now usually these kinds of offerings are done at a discount, but the market still looked at this as bad news, because quite simply, $39 is less than the current share price of NIO on the market. When XPeng announced their selling price of $45 though, they went all the way down to $42.85 before going back up again. But in NIO's case, we barely saw the stock going down below $40 before going back up again. So it does seem like we still have a lot of buying pressure with confident NIO investors taking every opportunity they can get. Now, I personally don't really think this is too big of a deal, and I rather want to focus on what NIO is actually doing with the $2.65 billion they managed to raise doing this share offering. In my last NIO video, I already talked about how they're getting closer and closer to expanding to Europe, and now we just saw them sign this deal with the Chinese state, so I think this money will be put to really good use. NIO themselves have said that they plan to use the net proceeds from the share offering mainly for research and development of new products and next generations of autonomous driving technologies, sales and service network expansion and market penetration, and also general corporate purposes. So I'm very excited to see how this will turn out in the future and just how well they can make use of this new money. Now lastly, do I think it is a good time to buy NIO stock right now, or is it better to wait for it to maybe go down even more? I will definitely buy shares right now, and I think that if you have done your research on the stock, and if you happen to agree with me that it is a good investment for the future, of course, then there is no point in waiting and hoping for an even better buying opportunity than the one we have right now. If you, like me, want to hold this stock for the long term, a couple dollars up or down will look irrelevant in a couple of years. On the other hand, if you keep waiting and waiting, but NIO only goes back up again, that can really mess with your mind, and maybe you even end up never buying the stock in the first place. Now, guys, keep in mind that you always have a diversified portfolio when investing with many different stocks, and also that you do your own research and make your own decisions when going out and investing your hard-earned money into the stock market. Don't take this video as investment advice or financial advice, since I am absolutely not a financial advisor. Take it rather as more entertainment. And with that, I want to conclude today's video. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a like to help this video educate and reach out to more people about the recent developments of NIO and just simply show them the case for the stock and the pros and cons of it. It's really the absolute best way you can support me. Also, if you have watched all the way to this point and if you enjoyed the content, of course, it would make me so happy if you subscribe to the channel. We're almost there to that 10,000 subscriber mark, and I will be so happy if you got there before the end of this year. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.